Looks like we got both the players in and ready to go for game number 1. Sounds like somebody's joining and leaving. Okay, there we go. Mawkzy versus ApparentlyJack. Let me know if there's good volume for the sound. I think it should be good. And let's get into it. So, if you've not yet seen either of these two players play against AJ, what I would do is suggest that you, well, if you intend to watch it unspoiled, I would suggest that you turn off the stream right now, because I'm inevitably going to talk about it, because they both played against AJ yesterday, and that means that a lot of how this game goes will be referenced to their matches against AJ. So yeah, if you don't want to get spoiled, I'd say turn off the stream and watch the videos in order when they appear on YouTube. You're going to have to wait a while though, because I've got a bit of a backlog right now of top tier matchups that are going to be going up one day at a time. Yeah, with that said, let's talk about that briefly. So Jack took down AJ in game 5. Mawkzy smashed him. Now, whether that difference will appear in this matchup remains to be seen, but the way that Mawkzy was able to beat AJ so badly appeared to be through constant aggression when it came to challenges. AJ just couldn't handle the aggressive defensive style of Mawkzy, who kept on just barreling right through him. On top of that, it appears like Mawkzy might have just figured out a way to have the best, well, I'd say, let's say consistently the best flick game out of anyone in the top tier of 1v1 right now. So all else being equal, which it wasn't, you know, AJ did have his moments, he did have his own edges as well, particularly aerials in offense. Mawkzy actually had to wave dash there to not own goal. Yeah, Mawkzy's advantages were just too severe, and he steamrolled right through AJ. Now, ApparentlyJack used a ton of bumps, I believe. I've not yet had a chance to watch his match that he played against Daniel, but I saw a bunch of people commenting cringe in the comments for that one. It was played on Fear's channel. So I can only imagine Jack was playing extremely physically, like he sometimes does. And against AJ, Jack did that as well. He was extremely physical. He had a ton of success in games 1 and 2, especially with the bump game. But throughout that series, even when AJ switched to the Batmobile to try and become more hard to hit, Jack was still connecting with him a ton. So those are the things you've got to look out for in this matchup. You know, will Mawkzy be able to stop the physical game of Jack? Will Jack even go for it against Mawkzy? Was that specifically something he wanted to do against AJ? Will he do something a bit different against a player who's more used to playing against him? Well, the answer is no, as he goes straight away for the air dribble bump. Mawkzy does counter it and equalizes after not much delay. Big challenge and a lot of space. No way Jack was going to recover there. How's my voice? My voice is good. I mean, still not 100% after London. I've had like you know, kind of, I really lost my voice, so it's been coming back slowly. But I mean, every day I feel like I'm good to cast a couple series with absolutely no problems. Yeah, I'm just doing short streams, but streams every day. That's what I've decided to go for, instead of one really big stream and then taking a day off. Or another tight series here, another tight game. As Jack's kickoff works wonders for him. Both players going for a similar strategy there. Looks like Mawkzy might have been a bit too low on the ball as it went up and over him. Another very fast wave dash recovery though sends Jack back to his own corner. He won't like that. He likes to keep up pressure, especially after kickoffs. But tidy save from Jack, and Mawkzy's the one looking for that back wall aggression. It's best of 7 in case you didn't notice at the top of the screen there, as requested by Mawkzy. First best of 7 for a match of this caliber, and we should be good to finish a best of 7 inside an hour anytime these days. Mawkzy will be leading. He's taking his time as well with the open net. I talked about Jack perhaps being the player to look out for when it comes to bumps and demos, but Mawkzy's been equally aggressive, if not more so far. No, I don't believe that they have a wager on this. I think they've decided to just play a show match here. The wager for Mawkzy AJ, if I'm not mistaken, was largely due to the fact that they ran into each other and ranked a bunch and had words to exchange on Twitter. Jack and Mawkzy have a lot more experience playing against each other, as Jack now rolls the ball on target and accelerates ahead of it to smash Mawkzy out of the way. Both players really focusing in, dialing in on that aggression off the ball. Can you donate 25 USD for a prize pool? My minimum donation is set to 50. And all donations go to prize pools, but the reason I made it 50 is because I wanted any minimum prize pool to be 50. So that's just the way that it's set up, and I can't change it. Curious Malding, is he losing? Is it going to be another Grand Slam for Djokovic? Oh, that's a bit of space for Mawkzy to work with. Jack, perhaps a bit careless there, but he manages to get back to the ball. Nearly misses the open net, but it will slot in off the post. I think he got a bump onto Mawkzy there. If not, then definitely scared Mawkzy away from getting a solid contact in the ball just by presenting himself in that location. Now, interesting approach to the kickoff there from Jack. Very side on, but corrected himself and catches Mawkzy out of position, but this time he does miss the open net. That might just be getting out of his system. AJ tweets really backfired after losing show matches to the top 3 in EU. I mean, I wouldn't say so. I think, full credit to AJ for really making the most of his time in Europe. He's been grinding the EU server, hit rank 1. Nobody could take that away from him. He literally got rank 1 on the EU server, and also the worldwide rankings for ones. 1,700 plus points by beating Khaled twice in a row. I mean, that's brilliant. Nobody can take that away from him. And then he went after all of the top EU players, one after another. Joreuz, Jack, Mawkzy, that's my top 3 for EU right now. AJ took them all on and had 2 close series, 1 not so close series, but all respectable matchups for sure. I'd love to see rematches of them as well, because the style of ones, and this isn't just a short-term thing, this isn't a new generation of player type of thing, but just historically 1v1 in North America has been a lot more trading possessions, where players will attack, and if it doesn't work and the other player is kind of near the ball, they'll just go back, get boost and defend. It's like one attack for one player, one attack for the other player, mostly on the ball. But that's what's led to mechanical masters like First Killer, AJ and Daniel existing. It's because they really got to grind so many big plays against each other. Oh, what a shot by Mawkzy. He's tied the game here. I thought he was going to be trailing in the closing seconds, but huge interception and a slot from the back corner. Brilliant stuff. Like I was saying though, the EU guys are just extremely aggressive, and the way they play is a lot more ball chasey, a lot more ball pressure focused. So AJ no doubt learned a lot from that. And at times it's better to stay on the ball even if you don't have boost. No doubt Mawkzy's going to keep this up. He's definitely a player for the fans these days. But Jack managed to clip him even though he missed the ball. And into overtime we go. Jack was the player who had the lead late in the game, and he plays for the delayed kickoff to open up overtime. Stuck around for the bump as well, even though it didn't really look like it was on. Jack thought, oh well, might as well try because Mawkzy's going back anyway. There's the big flick. Something Jack was known for when he first burst onto the scene of ones. But Mawkzy's taking it to a new level. So far Jack is standing strong against it, and making do with the small pads as Mawkzy takes the back corner 100. Jack just staying low enough on the 50-50 to deny Mawkzy the easy goal. Jack well aware of the constant threat here that Mawkzy's presenting. He is always looking to get a burst of speed for a demo. Jack plays it into space and then finds Mawkzy off his line. And after surviving the big flick and the ensuing pressure, Jack snipes a long shot over the top of his opponent. Well spotted. He just saw Mawkzy turning to come back to him, not to go back towards his goal. Already more success than AJ had in the matchup, but look at the pressure from Mawkzy. 15 shots, and this is telling. It really is telling of the kind of player Mawkzy is rapidly becoming. All-out aggression, relentless pressure, very, very difficult to play against. But if there's anyone who's going to be able to play against this, it would be Jack. He is true 1v1 grinder recently. And for the past couple of years as well, constantly sitting rank 1 or close to it. He knows how Mawkzy plays, he knows what to expect, and he sneaks up behind him to take him out one more time. That shot's not going to cause Mawkzy too much trouble. This one might. Instead, Jack decides to bring it down. It should be a 1-1 or 1-0 game here for Mawkzy. Confidently smacks it in the right side of the net after Jack hesitates and gets on the wrong side of the ball. Dampin Heart, thanks to the 2-month Prime. Also Raina Wood, thanks to the 2-month Prime. And Type Reviews, thanks to the 8-month Prime, as well as 17-month Prime from Carrie Poppins. Thanks for the good content. You're welcome. Thanks for swinging by. Oh, massive play by Mawkzy. Jack was trying to be cheeky here. This is a position where he knows Mawkzy can see him. That's a high pop on top of the car. So Jack knows Mawkzy can see him there. And the fact that he knows Mawkzy can see him is sort of the mind game. Because he'll know that Mawkzy knows that he can see him. It's a very deep kind of play when these guys are involved. The fact that it is in plain sight is what makes it a bit of a sneaky play. But Mawkzy called the play, saw it a mile away. And now it's Jack starting to spot an early challenge. Both players really trying to fight for that midfield control. Not a lot of goal line defense so far in game 2. Keeping each other guessing, keeping each other honest with these early challenges. A buff butt, thanks to the 64-month tier 1. That is insane. And thanks as well for the brand new Prime from Kolumi. Welcome, and appreciate the Prime being used. You're kind of late. You're not too late. I mean, a long way to go here. I think it's important that Mawkzy really gets a foothold in the series here. The momentum that he generated against AJ yesterday was quite spectacular, but Jack's really put a halt to that from the get-go today. Has he snuck that one in? He has. Jack's open net miss tally still only 1. He'll be hoping it stays at 1 per series, not 1 per game today. Mawkzy tried to fake the mid boost grab. Jack just went straight to it. It's worth mentioning that when Jack ran into Mawkzy's alt account, test it on top, and Mawkzy's attempted rank 1 climb, which he did succeed in. New account to rank 1 in, I believe, 13 hours. Jack did play him while he was on that road to rank 1, and he didn't recognize Mawkzy's play style when he went up against it. He knew it was a top tier player, but he couldn't figure out who. Oh, that's well done. Mawkzy chases Jack all the way to the ceiling. Jack escapes him and keeps the ball under perfect control the entire way. Multiple touches to counter-attack straight down the middle of the field. Is Mawkzy's rank 1 grind uploaded to YouTube? I don't know if he uploaded it, but I know Jack uploaded his POV of, I think, a couple of games against Mawkzy when he ran into Mawkzy's ult. And he was speculating as to who it was all the way through their first game, if I recall. Can't remember who he settled on. I can't remember who he decided. Do you guys remember who Jack thought it was? Because Mawkzy, on his main, and even up until recently, played a very, very solid style. Oh, he thought it was Scrub Killer. Yeah. So that's interesting. Jack thought it was Scrub. And it shows how much respect Jack has for Scrub. What a save that is by Mawkzy. Ramps off the post for the wave dash. Jack still beats him to the back corner boost. Yeah, the reason that Jack thought it was Scrub, or would have thought it was Scrub, is because of the aggression, the ball chasing, the constant pressure. That's something Scrub has always been known for. He loves to just chase the ball, which is ironic for somebody who complains so much about ball chasers on his stream, but he's very good at it. He's very good at just constantly applying pressure to the ball, and he can even go toe-to-toe with the best in the world if he's on his day. But Scrub not as consistently top tier these days at ones, having to fight to stay in the top 10 for EU, whereas you're looking right now at guys who might be 1-2, certainly top 3. He said Scrub flips differently. That's a real interesting thing to notice, isn't it? I think out of the guys who flip differently, I reckon I could spot Ahmad without a nameplate. I bet I could tell you. I bet if you put a bunch of Fenix in a lobby, I could tell you which one's Ahmad by the way he flips. There's just some players like that who have such a unique way and very consistent way of maneuvering. But yeah, besides not being able to guess it was Mawkzy, Jack was shocked to find out that it was Mawkzy, because the playstyle has just become so much more aggressive and it suits him so well. All that being said, Jack has his number at the moment. Looking for the second game win in a row. He's really keeping Mawkzy guessing with the timing of his arrival in the kickoffs. Jack not able to get possession off this, but he is still fighting after Mawkzy takes the ball. He's in position to defend. Looks like he did pick up that boost, or certainly had some to play with. 2 old Errol, thanks to 25-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Motor Bieber as well, thanks to 41-month tier 1. Hope you're doing well also. Benjamin RL, thanks to the brand new Prime. 66-month tier 1 from 5 Magics, welcome back. Red Warpaint with 27-month Prime, welcome back to you as well. You can't wait to talk about the stream where we talk predictions to T-Bits going into Worlds. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that also. Although it's probably going to need to be after the Saudi LAN, because quite a lot of people are taking breaks right now after London, knowing that Worlds will be quite a grind in the near future. Mawkzy unable to have his way with Jack at the moment. He's struggled to surprise Jack, at least as much as he surprised AJ, and that's a surprisingly off-target shot by Mawkzy there. Jack settling for 23 boost, keeping his distance here so Mawkzy can't snipe him with a demo at any moment. And there's the rush challenge by Jack. Mawkzy absorbs it, but not fully. Both players land on the opposite side of the ball, and Jack retreats once again to his back corner. But second flick in a row for Mawkzy to the top corner. And if nothing else is working, if his challenge game's not catching Jack off guard, his flicks continue to be unbelievably consistent. That's twice now that he's gone straight over Jack's head at the near post. Jack knows it's coming. He's trying to time his jump so that he can pop it into the crossbar. And Mawkzy is just too good. And now a flick out play leaves an open net for him. He leads by 1. Unlike game 1, after tying the game at 6 apiece, Mawkzy is the one to go in front. Still 19 seconds left for Jack to work with. He's got a reasonable kickoff as well, but Mawkzy's wave dash recovery is spot on. Jack fakes the challenge, instead plays for the demo. Trying to spot where Mawkzy's spawning there. Jack knew he came far side. He didn't know Mawkzy was going to return to the goal to defend. Now Jack's got to try and keep this up and active, and he does. This is a great first touch. Jack's no doubt going to go all in for this, but Mawkzy plays the ball, gets it to bounce. Can he just get it into the ground? He will, and already ties the series, finishing the comeback second time of asking. Tier list today? No, I'm not going to be doing a tier list today. Possibly tomorrow. I'm not doing it today though. Today we've got 2 show matches. This one as well as Daniel versus Naipo. Cheesy on to Yeezy, thanks to the 10-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel, man. Did I say thanks to Kalumi for the brand new Prime as well? I believe I did, but if I didn't, you got a double thank you. Congrats. Mawkzy snaps a wall shot immediately. It doesn't bounce kindly for him. Might still try and go for this one, with Jack having 100 boost to defend, but Mawkzy gets it past him and opens the scoring already. Although Jack's mixed up the kickoff well, he is losing out on the race to the ball thanks to Mawkzy's blisteringly fast wave dash recovery. I mean, just look at the speed he's able to generate from a standstill every single time, launching himself. Just pure propulsion back towards the ball. Jack stops him short of the halfway line. Mawkzy commences the attack from the back corner. He decides that's not a good first touch, and no panic. Goes all the way back to try one more time. Oh wow, Jack with a 300 IQ play here. Mawkzy was coming in to demo him. Jack circles around to stay safe and passes the ball to himself off the inside of his own post. That's unbelievable from Jack. To pull that off in such close quarters with Mawkzy gunning for him. I mean, most of the time you'll see that play, it's to counter a boost steal, not to counter a demo attempt. That's what Jack pulled off, but Mawkzy's again in front. Jack took a bit too long to decide what to do here. Thought about challenging, turned away from the ball. Mawkzy, with full control, really gave him nothing with regard to options. Now Jack, with 100 boosts to play with and possession, forces Mawkzy to the back corner. Jack accelerating the ball into position here, but a pre-jump from Mawkzy perfectly counters the shot that Jack sent towards him. Jack did miss a small boost pad steal there, tried to go for a different small pad boost steal. You'll notice that he is trying to take away everything here. He knows that Mawkzy's on low boost, so he's not just aiming for the big pads, he's trying to take everything along the way. There's another small one and another one gone. Just hoovering up whatever he can in and around Mawkzy's net. Mawkzy looks like he might have disconnected here. I'm just going to try and pause. Oh, maybe it's me. Have I disconnected? I can't pause. Chat, can you see me? Type 1 in chat if you can see what's going on here. I think that... Oh. Okay, you can. I think the server might have disconnected here. Well. Oh, the game lagged? Okay, well, we're 2-1 at 30 seconds left. It looks like the entire server DC'd. That's fine. Alright, that's one of the more kind options for Rocket League to give us. At least I don't have to give a goal to someone here, or decide whether or not to give a goal to someone. Yeah, 2-1, 3:30. It was 2-1 Mawkzy, right? I think? Yeah, 1-0, 3:30, same thing. I'll just make it 2-1. I mean... Yeah, servers might be down. We could try a couple times here. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll just go. It was it 2-1 Jack? I forgot who was winning. I can't change the time till the clock actually starts ticking down. Now we can do it. All right, there we go. I actually could have just kept it going. We could have just like left it, and I could have changed it, but I didn't want to confuse them here. I didn't try. I actually just got it confused. Jack said I swear it was for me. It was for me. I thought in my head like I thought in my head it was Mawkzy, but yeah, I did get got there. Yeah, I can actually change the score on the go, so we didn't need to worry about it there. But I didn't want to confuse the players. I mean, seeing the score change mid-play is sometimes off-putting, so it's probably better to just get it done here and now. Anyway, we resume. Jack with a 1-goal deficit. Mawkzy with possession inside his own half. And of course, he's going to keep flicking, or at least setting up for big flicks. Given the success he's had today, and every other recent day that he's played in a show match. Flicks have been unbelievable. Jack running ahead for a demo that was spotted a mile away by Mawkzy there, and really didn't even come close to landing. Actually, twice in a row, Mawkzy beans his setup for the flick, but you can see how scared Jack is of it. He didn't prepare himself to collect a free possession. I mean, Mawkzy just gave it to him. Jack hits it right back because he's only thinking about where do I need to jump to save this absolute laser of a flick that's coming at me. It's difficult to react to Mawkzy just giving the ball to him, as he did 2 times. Mawkzy turning early here, denying Jack any position in the play, but misses the shot. And Jack has an open net to work with. Can Mawkzy catch up to it? He will. Jack went for placement there. The shot lacked a bit of power as a result. Mawkzy faking challenges, Jack not falling for it. Standard air dribble works. Jack lifts the last touch over the top of the Frenchman. And into the top corner she goes. Very interested to see how Jack tries to control the wave dash kickoff that Mawkzy's been recovering so beautifully with today. Both players go for the standard approach that time around. Mawkzy playing the ball to the side here. That will give Jack a bit of time to reposition. Now 100 boost for both players. Jack again sneaking underneath Mawkzy, looking to threaten demos the entire length of the field. He gets him in Jack's back corner. I mean, this really is becoming a bit of a cat and mouse game where Mawkzy's forced to run for extended periods of time. He concedes possession with a failed pinch. Jack opens up an angle on the dribble. Hook shot's being threatened here. Mawkzy, no panic. Has stayed low in the challenge. Prepared himself for a big 50. Now Jack's given possession away. Mawkzy's shot, lackluster. Both players actually starting a bit cold since the restart. Multiple missed flick setups for Mawkzy, a shot that's missing a bunch of power. Both players are still only separated by 1 goal as Jack perfectly times the respawning mid-boost to put himself in a great spot to defend the incoming attack. Mawkzy trying to fly back to a ridiculous saving angle. That's a great try, but Jack this time had enough power on the shot to score. Notice Mawkzy missed his touch and straight away just started darting right back to his goal, knowing a shot is coming. If he had somehow saved this, it would have been spectacular, but Jack's shot was true. And with a minute to go, we're all tied in game number 3. Once more, Mawkzy's wave dash recovery is immaculate. Jack forced to defend once again, and it's a huge flick and I think a rebound as well. This is not defendable, not without a pre-jump. Mawkzy is just battering these flicks into the top corner, and this one actually had both players falling on it after it came down off the bar. You can't defend that. You simply cannot defend that while shadowing. He is too consistent with it. And to make matters worse, if he doesn't like the look of the setup, he just doesn't flick the ball. He's not unleashing unless he knows it's going to be a good flick. Ridiculous consistency by the Frenchman. 30 seconds to go. Top left is open here. He decides instead to roll it into the corner. Thought about playing for the boost steal, but it didn't spawn in time. Jack also mistimes the spawn of the back corner. He's thinking about swooping across for the bump. Doesn't connect with it. Mawkzy saw him coming again, and he's away to go up by 2 goals in the closing stages. He's rolling it in a bit slower here just to knock an extra second off the clock. Maybe a bit too often this game did Jack look for the aggressive play in Mawkzy's back corner. I think it's worked a lot more in the midfield. Hold on. He's going to make this interesting though. Kickoff goal for Jack. Mawkzy very side onto the play here. Jack goal side. Big counter play there from Jack. Will he go for the same strategy again? Look to see him on the right side of the ball flipping left. If he does, that's what we're going to get. Mawkzy has the wave dash this time though. Use it to bump Jack away from the play, and now Jack just has to commit. There's no choice but to lunge in here, or Mawkzy's going to roll it into the ground, and Jack decides not to go. Those little feints from Mawkzy to keep Jack back was all he needed to close out the game. Lovely kickoff there by Mawkzy to make sure that he's not going to concede twice in a row from the same play. Jack went for the same kickoff 2 times. First time Mawkzy dodged into the ball, conceded. Second time he single jumped into the ball, had the wave dash, and that was the difference maker. Ban flicks this game. I don't think we will actually. I'm enjoying the flicks personally. I mean, I think it might just be something Jack needs to go back to the lab with. When Jack, like I mentioned earlier, when he came onto the one scene years ago now, his 1-2 punch combination that worked really well in Synergy was the flick and the air dribble bump. Now we're seeing plenty of air dribble bumps from Jack these days. In fact, all kinds of bumps, not just air dribble bumps. But what we're not seeing so often from Jack is a reliance on huge flicks, at least not as shots. He uses flicks a lot to try and outplay in the midfield, but not so often to shoot against the defended net. Prefers to actually just take shots and play for a more consistent pressure play. Mawkzy showing that although that is a preferred style by most of the top players these days, it's not the only style that works. You can just go completely all in with a laser of a flick if it is as good as Mawkzy's is. Fantastic challenge by Jack here, completely boost starved. But he still managed to predict exactly where Mawkzy was going to be. Turns a huge boost advantage into a goal for himself. There is a midfield flick from Jack to try and counter Mawkzy's positioning. It does. Like I mentioned, this is where you'll see Jack tend to flick the ball. If he's worried about a challenge, and you notice where Mawkzy is, he knows that there's probably a challenge coming if Mawkzy's that close to him, then you might as well flick the ball. Either it's going in, or it's going to force the opponent to awkwardly pop the ball and probably lose their back corner boost in the process. Oh, well done. Mawkzy completely nullifies Jack's low boost challenge. Collected his flip off the ceiling, stayed behind the ball the whole way, and the fact that that didn't ping off somewhere with a 50-50 just shows how well Mawkzy absorbed Jack's challenge there. Cringe. So boring. Hey, listen, if you think this is boring because there's not enough flip reset goals, then feel free to turn off the stream and watch someone in free play. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. You know, there's a lot to 1v1. I think 1v1 is the most diverse game mode right now in Rocket League, and the reason I love it personally and always have, on top of the big mind game battle that 1v1 is, everything that both players do is a mind game in a way. That's always a joy to watch. But these days you've got big mechanical plays as a viable option, you've got physical plays as a viable option, you've got ground game as a viable option. I mean, you really do get different play styles in ones. in a much bigger way than you do in 3v3. If you're only here to see big aerial plays, then you've come to the wrong game mode, because 1v1 is extremely diverse, and if you can't appreciate the positional gameplay and the top quality Rocket League you're currently witnessing, then you've either got to try and understand what's going on a little bit more, keep watching and try and listen to what's happening, watch what's going on. Or like I said, I don't know, go watch a freestyle montage. Like there's a lot going on here that's probably going way over your head if you're bored. These are both players who took down AJ, who is a monster right now in ones. I've put AJ, confidently inside top 10 worldwide, and both of these guys beat him. And they both did it with very different playstyles. Jack with very physical play, Mawkzy with a very heavy ground game. AJ probably has both of them beat marginally in the air, but you've got to have mastery of every aspect of ones these days if you're going to succeed. Oh, well, there's your clip. Are you entertained now? Jack scoops the ball from close to ground level, just underneath the bar. I mean, his car was touching the ground when he flicked that one up high. And yeah, Mawkzy, I did see that in the chat where he's constantly listening in and typing in the chat, replying to individual comments at times. I don't know how he does it. He's really quite excellent at multitasking. Jory's beat him. Yeah, I know Jory's beat him as well, but these are the top 3 guys in EU. There's really no shame in losing to the top 3 players in EU. I think Jack, Jory's and Mawkzy are in a tier of their own for EU at the moment. Some players are not too far off, but that's the top 3, and no one in the world should ever be ashamed of losing to the top 3 in EU. So game 4, Mawkzy's got a long way back. He did come back to tie the game late on in games 1 and 2, losing game 1, winning game 2 after tying. Fantastic positional play there from Mawkzy. Again, very composed, even though he's having a read where Jack is, and lets loose once again. This time to the far post top corner. And Jack, I think, says it best. What on earth are your flicks? He says 117 kilometers an hour. Mawkzy simply deletes the ball whenever he wants. He's taken the flick game to another level. And with every passing goal, with every passing show match, he shows he can do this more consistently than we think we realize. And Mawkzy's chipping away at Jack's lead. 5 goals to his name now. Jack got a piece of that ball, but not enough. Could merely deflect it into the top corner. Jack now calling Mawkzy's flip reset goal cringe. He's trying to get inside his opponent's head. Mawkzy collapses on the post. Jack doesn't have any momentum, so he's unable to counter-attack, but at least for now, he's put the brakes on Mawkzy's momentum. Mawkzy makes way to the ceiling once again, has his flip as he falls back down from it, delays his shot, and again is deflected into the corner by an attempted save from Jack. Mawkzy faking a much lower option here. He waited and waited before unleashing the flip on that play. No doubt Jack was starting to prepare himself for either a ground pinch or perhaps a wave dash followed up by a demo. I mean, there really are so many viable options in that position, but Mawkzy disguised what he was up to and was still able to send the ball absolutely flying into the net despite the late shot. Now Mawkzy pre-jumps at the near post. Jack's going to try and slot it off the far one. He does, and gets the 2-goal lead back. Now, did Mawkzy need to jump early at this one? In fact, he didn't pre-jump. He just flipped the wrong way. I thought maybe he'd jumped before seeing where the ball was going because he landed so poorly, but no, he just didn't flip in the correct direction there. Left the door open for Jack to score once again. Just over a minute left. I got it, says Mawkzy. This is Rocket League, says Jack. Jack will, for once, see what it's like to defend a Mawkzy flick. That one wasn't one of his faster ones, which is saying something because it was still a pretty quick one for most player standards. And now Jack is not interested in any goal line defense at all. He closes down the flick, perfectly times the mid-boost spawn. And again, he just goes right in for the challenge. He doesn't want to defend on the goal line against Mawkzy's flick. And this is what you do if you don't want to defend against flicks from close range. You have to challenge early. And Mawkzy knows that's what Jack's up to. He knows the predicament he's put Jack in. And he's ready to adapt to Jack's attempted counterplay. Mawkzy forced to play the ball in Jack's direction. No boost available for him. Jack gets a big bump onto him, but Mawkzy actually used that to bump Jack as well. Jack trips up Mawkzy once again. He will have a chance to go two goals in front again. Pops the ball on target. Mawkzy looking for the counter attack. Jack controls it well. Time being wasted by the Englishman. Mawkzy lunges in a panic. Fails to make contact. Jack, I think, has missed the first shot here, but he should catch up to it. He does. And with only 6 seconds left, we are set up for a 2-2 tie in the best of 7. I'll tell you who Mawkzy's flick reminds me of. Actually, I'll ask you guys. If you could combine 2 players, historically, and we're going way back here. If you could combine 2 players throughout Rocket League history, I'll be a bit more specific, because I think this question is going to be impossible if I'm not more specific. But let me say, if you can combine the technique of one player and the speed in the setup of another player, who have you got to make this flick by Mawkzy? Because 2 players come to mind. I'm thinking of one player when I'm thinking about the speed of the setup, and then the actual flick itself. At least for tier 1 1v1 players, reminds me of another player as well. A couple of you guys got it right, so well done to anyone who said Flores and Lion Blaze. Speed of the setup, Flores. That's the only player that I've seen consistently prepare a flick and unleash it consistently as fast as this. Although Flores used to do it with the conventional flick, the good old-fashioned diagonal dodge to the front. And then Lion Blaze, of course, for the technique. It's a reverse 45 extreme. You know, really getting a big angle on this one. And, you know, when you flip in that manner, if you're wondering why does the reverse 45-degree flick tend to have a much faster pace than any other type of flick that is popular, well, the reason is because the axis at which the car, or at least this is how I understand it, no doubt rocket science can come along and correct me or elaborate. But the axis at which the car flips around is not actually centered on the hitbox. So when you front flip flick, the big paddle on the back of the car that you're using is in fact a shorter paddle than the front of the car, which is used when you lift up into the ball using a reverse 45-degree flick. So when you think about it, you're actually getting extra touches, at least one extra touch, but sometimes multiple extra touches as you launch the ball off the front of the car using a reverse 45-degree flick. Instead of using the back of the car by leaning into it, you actually get more contact points, and that every single one of those just increases the speed of the flick again and again. You know, even if you're just getting one extra point of contact on a release, you're going to get more speed. So it just gives you a bigger flick, simply. It is a faster flick overall. Much harder to execute, so if you're not an absolutely top tier player, I'd recommend, you know, mastering the most basic flick, which is either a front flip or a diagonal front flip. But reverse 45 is for peak speed. The fact that Mawkzy's figured out a way to consistently set up for it as quickly as this is something I've not seen before. I mean, I've seen it occasionally. I've seen some players here and there pop up with a very fast release on one flick per game or one per series, but he does it every time. He just jumps and flicks in the blink of an eye, and the ball's in your top corner. Absolutely absurd. And there you saw the more traditional technique, the forwards flick with a little bit of an angle on it. When I say 45 degrees, you know, it's just all encompassing. It kind of indicates that you're not flipping in a straight line, but the angle is never exact to 45. Well, sometimes it is, but especially on a controller, you're able to get more angles than you can on a keyboard, for example. Very kind of the players to not score for that entire explanation, so I could just get through it bit by bit without having to stop to acknowledge a pop-off goal. And now that I'm done, Mawkzy does score. Thank you very much. Completely even in games and also in game 5 scoreline. A pretty even kickoff as we set up for a second 50-50. Jack fakes it, lets Mawkzy run the ball into him. Not gonna lie, you lost me a flick. Well, you're gonna need to watch the VOD. I'm not repeating that. Not repeating that one. Oh, beautiful aerial shot by Mawkzy. Needed to really nail this one after he jumped over the demo by Jack. Notice that subtle air roll to get a bit more of an angle on the shot, and it goes in off the post, showing that he really did need to get everything that he could out of that shot. Oh, Jack's actually been caught sleeping here. Tries to surprise Mawkzy. Oh, he does. That's fantastic play. Mawkzy what saves himself, but there's no way he was expecting Jack to actually continue an offense here in reverse. Mawkzy will be disappointed he missed that overhead clear, but well done to Jack. He's spotted an opportunity in a very unusual position. That was after being overtaken on the way to the boost. Obviously, he didn't want to leave the ball, but definitely a mistake to concede both the boost and possession, even for a brief moment there. Jack still threatening demos in the back corner. Mawkzy gets away from him once again. I think I've mentioned it earlier, and I'll stick by it. I think Jack might be going a bit too hard for these back corner demos. Mawkzy can see him coming. He knows he's coming. You know, he's had a ton more practice against Jack than AJ has, so this play is not likely to catch him off guard. And speaking of surprises, Mawkzy has absolutely caught Jack off guard with this one. He half flips onto the boost on the kickoff, and Jack used all of his boost on the approach, didn't see it till the last second, and he couldn't even get the ball on top of his car to flick it to safety. I wonder if Mawkzy will go back to that strategy after succeeding in such a big way the first time he tries it in this series. Perfect challenge by Mawkzy again. Jack not really committing to anything there. Didn't flick the ball. Wasn't able to get a bump onto Mawkzy. I think he was maybe expecting Mawkzy to run back to the goal, but Mawkzy turns and challenges. It's high time that Jack just flicks the ball in those positions, I think. I've heard him say it in his own videos many times that against certain players he will just flick early or shoot early in his opponent's back corner because he knows that they prefer to challenge in those positions, but other players prefer to shadow in those positions, and clearly Jack is expecting Mawkzy to do the latter there because he's not flicking early. I know if he's playing against Khaled, he'll just take a shot. He'll just flick the ball knowing that there's a decent chance Khaled will just turn and challenge after picking up the boost. Fake shot from Jack. Mawkzy doesn't bite. He sees an early challenge coming from Jack an absolute mile away. Mawkzy is completely reading every move Jack makes right now. There's a bit of a difference in how this matchup is going. Jack trying to be blatant with his defense, but it is not working. And that's not long after Mawkzy completely read him on an air dribble bump setup. He's going to go for another one. This time he makes it work. Jack's popped Mawkzy into the air, but Mawkzy dive bombs the save. That's unbelievable. And to make matters worse for Jack, it's going to be a counter-attack as well. Jack thought he had him, but the shot couldn't get to the goal quickly enough. Mawkzy lands on the back wall, dives downwards, recovers, and scores. And we're going to get another half-flip kickoff here. Jack shoots first time, but if Mawkzy's half-flip is good enough, you cannot score. It is just simply not a shot you can score past a perfect half-flip, which Mawkzy indeed did execute. I've talked about this quite a lot in the past, but I'll say it again for any new viewers we've got here. If you run into somebody who is half-flipping on the diagonal spawn instead of going for the ball, the best counter, or well, really the only hard counter that you can play against that, is to make a wider turn around the ball, keep your momentum, and then hit it hard into your own back corner, following it all the way. But the key is you need to make it to your back corner, pick up the back corner boost, and turn to face the ball before the opponent reaches you. And remember, they're going to be supersonic from the get-go, so you've got to be quick with it. Someone to watch for that, if you want to see it being done well, is Dead Monster. You want to check out Dead Monster show matches. He's been able to counter the half-flip kickoff very well. Jack's actually fallen prey to it twice in a row here. It's not because he hasn't seen it before, it's just because it's something you have to react to immediately, and you really do have to turn perfectly in the center circle to get the ball moving quickly. and not lose any momentum. Jack's maybe going to try and celebrate this game with a bump. No, just instead a little high five, or low five I should say. He knows this one's over, and it has been a while. Mawkzy on double match point with a very convincing game 5. Are there any other matches after this one? Indeed there are. We've got Daniel versus Naupo after this. I'm going to need to message them both right now and say that we might be a little bit late. Actually, we should be fine. If this game goes to overtime and has a lot of goals, I'll send Daniel and Naupo a message, say we're going to be a couple minutes late. But at the moment, we're on track to finish in time. If only just. Actually, I think we're probably going to be a few seconds late, but hopefully nothing too much. Oh, Jax, I think he's missed that. He has. Mawkzy predicted the roll as well. I don't think he predicted this. Jack collects a reset in a position where he can shoot in any angle he wants. That is fantastic from Jack. He can place that ball wherever he wants there. He can even go for a double tap if he feels like it. A way to regain after missing an open net shot just moments ago. Once more now, Mawkzy. Counters and spots, but not in that order. The back corner demo play of Jack. Jack did not commit too hard for that one though. Mawkzy's going to need to rush back here. Jack's ceiling challenge has left him in a bit of a hurry. Transition onto the back wall is good, but first touch into the middle is too far. Mawkzy knows he's got a good run up for the flick, but even Mawkzy not able to get that flick off every single time. Does get the demo though. Jack spawns on the far side, closes the distance immediately. Both players playing very low boost here, but Jack beat into it. That's reminiscent of his second game against AJ yesterday, where he denied multiple boosts. Mawkzy flicks another shot into the top corner, and you can see Jack's predicament. This is so difficult to play against. Mawkzy lines up the flick, blasts it straight at him, and even if Jack can save this, which is a big if, he's still in a precarious position. He's still in a spot where he needs to recover quickly, otherwise Mawkzy will just beat him back to the ball. Mawkzy wonderfully darts underneath it to deny Jack the kickoff goal. Mawkzy using the fixed camera to keep an eye on where Jack is here. He'll go in for his second goal of the game as he spots Jack overextending once again. Are we going to see more of those half-flip kickoffs from Mawkzy? Indeed we are. That one wasn't too fast actually. If Jack had just boomed the ball bottom left, that would have been a goal. That was not the fastest possible half-flip by Mawkzy that time. He actually flipped slightly to the left when he needed to be doing slightly to the right on that spawn. But Jack decided to just chip the ball into the sidewall instead. He's tried to dribble a couple of times, it didn't work, so this time he just goes for a solid contact. It's a good turn by Jack, but Mawkzy booms it. Who needs boost when you can dodge into the ball like a pro? Great bump by Mawkzy, but that shot needs to be perfect. He really did clang that. If you don't think that looks difficult, go into free play right now. Put the ball in that kind of area and then try and hit it that hard into the net across the entire pitch with no boost to your name. It really is a precision move, and something that the top ones players are usually all very good at. Jack giving Mawkzy a taste of his own medicine, but even he'd be the first to tell you that that wasn't anywhere near the pace that Mawkzy's been flicking with today. 3-3 with just under 3 minutes left. That's good vision by Jack, spotting Mawkzy's retreat, and as a result commencing the bounce dribble, but he lost sight of Mawkzy. It's gone in anyway. Mawkzy says nice. Jack just rolls the ball on target, runs ahead of it, and he forced Mawkzy wide. Mawkzy actually dodged to the left there to make sure that he wasn't going to get struck by Jack on the drive-by. It looked like Mawkzy might have outplayed him briefly. Jack did indeed lose sight with Mawkzy's defensive position. It looks like he had previously done enough. Oh, what a pre-flip. Jack up by 2 now. Mawkzy loses control in his own back corner. He'll not be happy about that. He completely misses the ball, but well done to Jack to capitalize so quickly. Pre-flip and a finish. My brain is out, says Mawkzy. Happens to the best of us, says Jack. Jack must capitalize here. Mawkzy has been extremely momentum based today and yesterday as well against AJ. When he gets going, he looks unstoppable. Jack needs to use this moment where Mawkzy has briefly faltered and try to do as much damage as he can. Instead, he's overextended. All twos on the clock, and Mawkzy's delayed kickoff sets himself up for a tie game. Jack misses the demo, but he does get the save, just barely. And Mawkzy missed the boost steal on the exit. He has to go for a full retreat here. Jack on the ball, looking for the demo. Mawkzy again sees it coming, but he's stuck in reverse afterwards. So at least something there for Jack, despite not landing the demo. He did force Mawkzy slightly out of position. Mawkzy thought about shooting. Ball rolled a bit too far wide, rather bounced a bit too far wide. But he's in a massively advantageous position here. Jack is completely dead in the water, just has to keep moving. No boost, but plenty of momentum there. Fake challenge from Jack does the job, but he's got to get a 50 here. He gets one. Mawkzy looking to absorb every play. But Jack has hung on. Now he's got an open net to work with. Drops it down and in. And after some stellar defense, Jack can go up by 2 again, but he really did have to work for that. Mawkzy stretching him thin in every direction. Now 90 seconds to go. Jack looking to muscle Mawkzy off his back corner boost. That turns out to be a mistake though. Mawkzy beats him to it. Jack does not have any boost to work with, but Mawkzy loses control of the ball. Plays for the boost steal nonetheless. Quick turnaround, and I think an irritable bump. No, it's dead. He just played for the rebound. Jack able to clear it for now. 36 boost to play with. Another brilliant defensive stand by Jack, but he just can't get it out on the right side of the post. It rolls in. He was not far away from getting that ball to deflect into the back corner, and if he did, I think he was out of the water there. Mawkzy squeezes in a 5th. And now Jack's in a ton of trouble. Good kickoff for Mawkzy, but it doesn't bounce too well. Jack with boost to play with. Reverse challenge. Mawkzy not panicking. Looking to accelerate past Jack, who bumps him as he drives by. And now Jack's in an even worse position. Mawkzy coming at him with a flip reset. Jack sees that. Mawkzy doesn't use it too fast, but Jack pre-flips in the way of him, and he's got so much boost left over. How did Jack save that with no boost being used? But Mawkzy, in and out save. Jack's stuck in the goal. What a stop by Mawkzy. He completely committed to the in and out save. Jack went for the top corner, and he'll probably wish he kept it low, because Mawkzy used that against him and ties the game 6-6 again. That's the 3rd game this series Mawkzy has tied 6-all from 6-4 late on in the final minute, except the difference is this time he's on match point. That might be on target actually. Mawkzy has to be careful here. He's got 1 boost to his name. And he wastes a bit of time, and he stays safe for now. Mawkzy trying to keep up ball pressure. Now it's Jack that misses the ball. Can he keep this opportunity alive? Mawkzy is running low on boost, but I think he's done it. Into the ground it goes. Mawkzy escapes a 0-second play and remains 1 goal away from a win. It's another Jack possession. Mawkzy leaves the scene. Well, Jack shoots early. He's trying to catch Mawkzy pre-jumping there. Unable to snipe him on the landing, unable to steal the boost on the landing. Mawkzy comes out on top. Jack deflects the ball to the corner. Mawkzy beats him to it, but the long shot looks like it's... Oh, has it gone wide? I was about to say it looks good, but Jack's missed it. He had the right idea, but the accuracy's let him down. He's got it all to do now. Jack fakes the challenge, gets possession back for himself, shoots from distance. It's not a good shot though. Mawkzy's going to easily save that, collect back corner boost, and now I think Jack knows what's coming. Mawkzy ready to commit all in. Jack blocks him for now, but Mawkzy sends a flick to the moon. You're just waiting to see what Jack's going to do here. Jack forced to just stay active on the ball, but I'll tell you what, he's done pretty well with his boost, and he wins! Mawkzy tried to take out Jack on the recovery. Jack jumped over him, and Mawkzy plays the ball into his own net. I don't know if it would have mattered. I think Jack probably had the goal either way. But for the neutral fan, it's perfection. Game 7. Here we go. I am going to need to tell Naipo and Daniel we're running a couple of minutes late here, because we got a ton of goals and an overtime. Wager Game 7, says Mawkzy. 100, says Jack. Euros, I believe. Which comes to about $115, if I'm not mistaken. So it all comes down to this. Mawkzy spends all his money on Uber Eats, says Jack. So the wager and the trash talk. But Jack, going to be trailing early. Didn't put together the correct sequence to save Mawkzy's bullet of a shot. Thought he could flip one more time, but that left him in an awkward position. I ordered McDonald's with AJ's money. Mawkzy was able to take AJ's money in their wager yesterday, and he ordered McDonald's with it. Apparently, he's bet $100 on McDonald's. How many nuggets is that? That's ridiculous. 100 nuggets? Really? There's no way McDonald's nuggets are $1 each. That's a scam. Also, that's disgusting. Like, I saw a bunch of the Rocket League pros eating 40 nuggets at the LAN. Who did that, actually? Do you guys remember which pros were doing that? I know JamesBot did it once in the talent lounge. 40 nuggets. Imagine just going and ordering 40 nuggets. That is disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. Light work. Hey, I'm not saying that it's an impressive feat to be able to eat. I'm not saying it's difficult to consume. I'm saying, why would you want to? I'm saying, why on earth would you want to do that? That's just a terrible choice of food. Arsenal tweeted today that he's been having a nightmare in London with his food choices. He's been just having KFC every day. Listen, London's got probably if not the best, definitely one of the best restaurant selections in the entire world. If you're going to London and you don't like the food, then you've either got a bad palate or a bad person recommending restaurants to you. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, what shot. Jack completely catches Mawkzy off guard with that one. Mawkzy was getting ready to defend for a while. He was preparing for Jack to come at him in slow motion, perhaps. Jack just fires high and puts himself up. 2 goals, just over a minute into game number 7. Kearney84, thanks to the 10-month, or not 10-month, the 10 gifted sub, sorry. Really appreciate that, man. If you've just been gifted a sub, be sure to thank Kearney84. Jack now leads 4-1. Mawkzy, after calling for the wager, says that now Jack has completely broken him. Jack says that he's frustrated, but in a good way. It's like he's playing himself, but better, which is a huge compliment. But I think Jack acknowledges that a lot of the strategies that Mawkzy's having success with today are things that he's himself used in the past, and indeed in the present, to beat many of the best players in the game. Like I said earlier, the physical play and the big flicks. That's how Jack made a name for himself before taking to the air and wowing everybody with mechanics there as well. Recently, Mawkzy's done that also. Mawkzy says, you lose this. He settled down now. You lose this, don't worry. AppJack says, shush, little one. Okay, right. They're back into trash talk mode. I like this. I like this a lot. Can Mawkzy make another comeback? It's a brilliant mentality while behind. Anytime he's been trailing in this series, he plays so confidently. Presents multiple threats every time. Jack again looking to pass the ball to himself off the inside of the post, but Mawkzy catches him on the exit. Misses the first shot. He might just bang a second one here though. Jack reads it, blocks it, and now he's got a big boost advantage. Jack with the early aerial shot. That's going to go in. And then after a quick bit of trash talk, Mawkzy says, nah, I'm done. That was short-lived. I think it can't have been more than 30 seconds ago he said, you lose this, don't worry, and now he's saying, nah, I'm done. Mawkzy says, I do better passes in 1s than 3s. Heard the other day that Mawkzy was looking to start a 3s career for next season. I hope he does, because he's such a talented player. And recently his aerial game has been elevated to new heights. Jack misses off the post a couple times. Mawkzy's got a small opening here. Hook shot to the left of the goal. Oh, what a snipe! And he didn't even commit with it either. Showing the power of the hook shot. All you need is a bit of an angle and a run up. Perfect placement from Mawkzy. Jack still has a long way to go. Mawkzy, very talkative in this game. I've got to hope that he's not going to tilt himself, as we've seen many young players in the past do this kind of talking. And tilt themselves more than their opponent. If he gets his head down and really puts his mind to this comeback, we've seen him do it before. Like I said, he's come back from 6-4 down late in 3 games this series. Lost 2 of those games, but the comeback did happen. And the wall shot didn't connect too well. Mawkzy had to swerve to the right there to dodge the incoming demo. That's why he didn't play for the rebound. Jack got stuck on the post just briefly, and he seems like he never recovered from it. Jack's landing was an awkward one. He couldn't really get off the post there to continue pressuring the ball. He was just stuck. That allowed Mawkzy to approach from distance and then shoot from close range. Gomu01, thanks to the 3-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. It's a fantastic boost steal by Jack there. Mawkzy trying to catch the back corner on respawn here, and he does. That's fantastic play. Jack was too early to steal it. He didn't even try. But he cuts off Mawkzy's flick before the trigger gets pulled. That was about the latest you can challenge to stop Mawkzy from launching one to the top corner. Will we see any more of those signature flicks late on in the game? Jack shadowing close. He doesn't want to give Mawkzy a run up. He knows if he does, the ball's going to disappear into his top corner. Instead, he awkwardly positions and forces a bad response out of Mawkzy. Mawkzy trying to flick the ball into his back corner, but he leaves it behind. And he's getting left behind in terms of scoreline all the way through Game 7 here. Jack with all the boosts. And possession as well. Mawkzy does pick up 100 from midfield. Both players darting around each other looking for the bumps. Oh, Mawkzy's done him. Unreal. No doubt Jack was worried about another demo coming his way. That's why he stayed far away from Mawkzy on that play, but he wasn't ready for the huge angle change on the approach. Looks like Mawkzy's been watching Jesse's stream, taking notes. 2-goal difference again. Both players delay the kickoff. Mawkzy has a wave dash to work with. Jack decides not to commit for the boost steal, acknowledging the power shot threat from Mawkzy, who flicks high. Full knowledge that Jack will save that shot. Not panicking yet, not rushing as of yet. Jack picks up mid on spawn. Mawkzy again just flicks for distance. He's spacing Jack off the play here. Tries to catch him off guard with the same play again. Jack stays with it brilliantly. Mawkzy just wearing him down here, but if Jack can hold on a little bit longer, he'll force Mawkzy all in. He's running out of boost, but he's not running out of ideas. GG's, calls Mawkzy. He tried to chip away at Jack's defense, chip away at his boost total, and eventually create some space to score with. But Jack held on, and it is in fact him who scores on the counter. One good kickoff is all he needs out of the next 3, and he looks like he's got it first try. Jack will know exactly what to do here. If he stays on the ball, it is game over. Mawkzy swept AJ yesterday, but loses in the ace match to Jack. What a fight, what a battle, what a matchup this was. But a deserved win in the end for Jack, who is on a different level in Game 7. And the players will celebrate together now with a bit of reverse dribbling action. I wonder if Jack can flick this in. Oh, he's going to try and leave it for Mawkzy here. Okay, they're going to go in a bit of a procession. Which I would love to stick around for, but I don't know if we even have time for this. I'm going to check and see if our next show match is ready to go, but GG's. Great stuff between these two. If you've just tuned in at the tail end of the series, we've got Daniel versus Naupo coming up. Well, right now actually, but just making sure that Naupo's actually here. He is. I've got to just say GG's to these boys. They're going to troll me for now, forever. Yeah, GG's. Fantastic to cast 2 of the best in the world. And yeah, congrats to Jack on winning today. I'm sure they're going to have plenty more great matches in the future.